Derek, how's your team shaping up and what are you expecting from the tie tomorrow night?
I think the game's in the balance, to be honest. I think we both had a good look at each other last week. We were reasonably happy with the performance, just annoyed with the level of goals we lost. I think that maybe skewed the result a wee bit. I thought we were a better team last week. I think we had more possession and more penalty box entries, more opportunities, but we lost 2 poor goals. I thought Tromso counter-attacked well on us, as we knew they're capable of. So we're a bit annoyed at the goals we lost, but it's half-time and a tie. Obviously we come away from home. I think there's a natural train of thought that everybody seems to think that Tromso are huge favourites, and that's fine and well, but from our point of view we feel as though we're well in the tie. We're aware that we can't lose the type of goals we lost last Thursday to give ourselves the best chance, but we're looking forward to it.
Is that something you can feed off? That you and your players can feed off that? Tromso might be feeling that they're sort of written off underdoggy type thing? Or?
No, listen, it's just whatever it is. You know, you can't. If they're confident about the result and maybe think they're on their way, or maybe people from outside don't think that we're after, because we obviously we're very strong at home, we haven't won the home tie, it's maybe natural for people to think that we are the ties we're up against it, but we certainly don't feel that. We feel as if we're well in the tie, and we think there's more to come from us in the performance, and certainly more to come from us in terms of keeping the ball out of our net. We need to be very focused, concentrated, very resilient, aggressive, organised with our work when we don't have possession, because obviously Tromso like to build the play, which we saw elements of that last week. But like I say, in the game, having watched the game back again, it was exactly how I felt. I felt that I thought we were slightly the better team, but we lost poor goals, and ultimately Tromso were good enough to capitalise on that.
Is there maybe a bit of pressure on Tromso because there's a bit of expectation from the home?
Who knows? You know, I think we all put pressures on ourselves. You know, we want to be in the draw. We want to be able to play the winners of the Copenhagen game. Ideally, we'll be sitting in Denmark next week. That's the prize. It's cup football. You're either in or you're out, and Tromso have got exactly the same motivation. I don't think there's a lot between the teams, truth be told, but it's all right me thinking it and feeling that, but obviously we've got to go and perform and do a job.
Have you had any experiences, like maybe when you were at Aberdeen, of a drawing first leg at home?
Yeah. I remember we drew 0-0 with Groningen, and Groningen were big favourites, and we went over to Holland, we won 2-1. You know, and I felt even then, I remember, even maybe the Aberdeen crowd or maybe some of the media slant was that we'd missed our opportunity to go to Holland with a victory. That was back in the day when away goal rules as well. So we're pretty pleased that we'd kept a clean sheet, and we were always confident with another game under our belt that we'd be ready, and we'd delivered a big performance. So I don't think that necessarily the second leg being away from home is a hindrance. I think that, as I said before, Tromso well up to speed in their own league, 20 competitive games or whatever it is. I think that can be important. We've had the benefit now of another couple of games, and I expect us to play with a bit more edge, get a bit more strength in the legs, a bit more cohesion, and certainly better with our decision making. It's important that we do that. And if we can do all that and deliver what we delivered last season, I think it's a game we can win.
Derek, what will be key to getting a positive result tomorrow night?
I think the first goal is always very important in any game, but particularly cup football, and particularly when we come away, we want to try and impose ourselves on the game, both in and out of possession. And I think if we can get off to, I think we're out of work, out of possession work will be key. I think we need to, as I say, the biggest drain of confidence is losing cheap goals, and obviously we went down to 10 men Sunday and we lost some cheap goals, and that followed on from a couple of poor goals we lost against Tromso. So we're not coming here in the best of form in that sense yet, but we know that that's in us. It's the same boys, it's the same, more or less the same team that delivered so many clean sheets and get so much praise for our work last season. So we're hoping that with the experience we've got, that we can be better at that side of it. And I always feel there's goals in us. I always feel we've got that punch in us. I always feel we can carry a threat, and it's important to demonstrate that night. I don't want us to wait a few weeks before we go and show our best and look back at what might have been. You know, it's important that we try and find that form now.
What's your team news, your squad news?
So, Corey and Daba's travelled, but the intention is, as I say, not to involve him too much, if at all. Mally Watkins is with us. Obviously, Mally only came off the bench at the weekend, but he's travelled with us. And I think, other than Kyle McInnes, who we've left back home, we're good to go.
You mentioned on Sunday there being a bit of a bug. Liam Donnelly, is he alright?
Yeah, he's back. Sorry, he was out. Gary Mackay-Stevens, another one who didn't succumb to it, but he was feeling a bit lousy over a couple of days. Liam obviously missed the game, but he's been in since the start of the week, taking over, and he's available for tomorrow. Yeah.
Any Tromsø players that impressed you the first leg, or that you've been especially aware of before this game?
Obviously they've got a good mixture of having experience and younger players. I think the system they play allows maybe, like Romssa is a good young player. I think him and Nordas have got a decent partnership at the top end of the pitch. And obviously Jensen's had a very good career. He's an obvious one that you would look at, but good energy about the team. I think the strength of the Tromso team is the team rather than individuals within it. But like any team, you still need the guys at the top end of the pitch, and obviously Nordas has had a decent start to the season, scoring goals. But I think as a team that they look well coached. They look as if they know what their intention is. They don't score a lot of goals domestically, but they don't lose a lot of goals as well. So it's good that we managed to breach them a couple of times last week. But equally, we're annoyed with the types of goals we lose. But I think they showed that they're good enough on transitions and counter-attacks to punish us.
The way they used their goalkeeper, Haugard, is quite high up. Did that surprise you? Or
not surprises. I made the comment after the game that it's unusual to see that in a lot of leagues, certainly in Scotland. Very confident coming out his goal. There was one instance where he was 30-40 yards for his own goal and we had a chance to just put it straight over him into the net. So it's something we've spoke about don't get too anxious or caught up about that. He makes him the extra player, he gives him that extra passer. But listen, we've got an idea of how Tromso want to play tomorrow, and we've also got an idea of how we can counter that and obviously try and put our own game onto them.
Derek, what do you expect from the Tromsø team at their own stadium in front of their own fans compared to last week?
Yeah, listen, I think that most teams prefer playing at home. Obviously, it's quite remote where we are, and I think that leans itself to the team. Obviously, kind of fanatical support and kind of real passion and feeling for the team, that connection for the supporters. But equally, we're bringing over a good few hundred Kilmarnock fans. It's not the easiest place to get to, and it's the Kilmarnock fans have made a big effort. So I think, like all cup football, you want a cup tie atmosphere, and I think we'll get that tomorrow. So. But once the whistle blows, it's just all about the game, and hopefully, as I say, we can be strong enough in the game to get through.
Different topic. What do you think about the city?
We've just arrived, but it looks very nice. I've been to Norway a few times, different places, and it looks exactly how I'd imagined it. But it looks a really nice place. We had a nice flight over. We took the liberty of training in Kilmarnock this morning. Just so we could get a proper session in and go through our work. So we've not spent too much time here, but yeah, I think it's part of the experience of being involved in European football, is giving the supporters the opportunity to visit different places, but equally it's experiences for my players and my staff to come, and obviously Norway is one of the nicer places in the world to come.
Questions for Kyle now?
Kyle, you spoke before about not wanting to let this go, this European thing. Is that very much the message that you've been conveying to the rest of the lads?
Yeah.
Because you want to hang on to this?
Especially now that this could potentially be the last game. So we've had our chance in Europa League that we let slip, so makes this even more important. It's not just to get caught up in it, no, it's still a game of football, but we need to go out there knowing this essentially could be a cup final atmosphere, and we need to match it.
How is that as players? Is it better to play it down within your minds, or is it better to sort of build it up into how big that it is? And
Everyone's
how
different.
does it work for you?
Everyone's different. Everyone needs different things. I like to probably taper it down and just play the game, stay calm and cool. But some boys will need to get fired up and play with a bit of an edge. So it's about trying to speak to the right people in the right way and get them in the right headspace.
When you scored last week, did you think this is going to be the start of a good night for us?
Honestly, yes, just because of the team I'm in and how good we are. As the gaffer alluded to there, defensively, you know, we had such a good record last season. Wouldn't expect us to concede 2 goals at home. But at the same time, I think, you know, it's shown us that we can definitely do some damage here tomorrow night, and we're full of confidence off the back of that result. Even though it was a draw, we're still full of confidence.
What did you make of Tromso's defence?
When I played in America, they're much like those sorts of teams. They're all lovely with the football. Physicality, I wouldn't say it's as strong as the league I'm playing in now in Scotland, but some good players. But I fancy my chances.
They didn't have a league game at the weekend, they were given a rest. Do you feel that's beneficial, or because you guys are just getting up to speed, actually would your preference be to have still had your game at the weekend?
It's a fact it's beneficial, but it is what it is. We have to you know, play with the cards we're dealt, and we won't use any excuses. We haven't done the whole time. It's been a tough run of games, but as the gaffer and the staff looked after us brilliantly, and we're all recovered and ready for tomorrow night.
Yeah, look, you must have savoured that feeling of getting that goal in Europe, but ultimately it didn't get the win. How special would it be to get one that got you through?
That's all I've been thinking about. Yeah, that's all I've been thinking about. So I'm gonna do my best tomorrow, and I say get the team as ready as possible, because it's a massive opportunity for us.
I think it does feel a bit special. I need to say, the club's been formed 155 years, and I think the Kilmarnock fans have only been able to travel in Europe abroad 8 or 9 times within that year. So we're trying to enjoy it, but equally on the professional part of it, we want it to continue. We know it puts a huge emphasis on our physical output in the schedule, and we don't have the biggest squad, but we feel we can still make up time in the league, and we want to try and maximise this experience, as Kyle said. So we are trying to navigate the fixtures that we've got. But at this stage of the season, when my players are still working their way to full fitness, you know, it's impossible for any of my players to be at their best at this stage of the season, for any player in Scotland at the minute. But we feel that from the Sunday to the Thursday, it's that bit easier. You get those extra couple of days rather than the Thursday to Sunday, and we feel ready. So we feel ready tactically, physically, we'll be good for it. I actually thought we finished the game really strong last week, which is testament to the players' fitness at this early stage of the season, and it pleased me no end. The intensity and the traffic was all one end for the last 10-15 minutes of the game, and it's important that we try and lean on everything we've got to try and overcome a good Tromso team.
Any more questions, guys? Yep.
Next one for Kyle. Any players on the Tromso team that you recognised or are afraid of for tomorrow?
Yeah, I concentrate on the defence and see where I can be a threat. So I read up on all the defenders. We've got a great scout report on them. As I said earlier, look, it's a good team. There's ability all over the pitch, but we have the same. And you know, I try to focus on my team more.
I know some of your teammates are outside on the pitch now. Will you get the chance to go outside and feel that? Yeah,
I've been. I had a look around, seen the pitch, seen the stadium. Yeah, and I'll probably go back down again.
What do you think about the artificial grass here?
Well, we play on the same in Scotland, so years ago it was new to me, but now I'm used to playing it every week, so not a problem for me.